Hello guys, this is Dr. Lior Bar-El, and today do I have a good one for you. Now we're going to be talking about several things here. One, we're going to talk about a little later about rumors and stuff that looks like it's being sort of validated. I'm going to explain a bunch of things about that. But first off, let's just talk about this. Got some time to actually read over a lot of information for y'all from Nintendo of Japan. Now, you guys know I have friends in Nintendo of America. Nintendo of Japan, of course, pretty much has the superpower over all of them. So to get it coming from them, information is probably the most accurate that it's ever going to get. I don't like doing videos about rumors. I despise it, so I'm just going to address things that Nintendo is doing wrong right now. But if the rumors are true, it might be a right direction to go, because I see a lot of fans, due to rumors, are getting pissed off and doing all kinds of things right here. So first off, we're going to talk about the Nintendo Online. First off, the Nintendo Online, to me, at least, and to many, I don't think it's just me, but a lot of people have been telling me this as well, it's a complete joke. You really do get what you pay for with Nintendo. You get charged a very small fee compared to any other console, but you don't get really anything out of it. Now, if you guys remember, when I did the PS Vita, way before the Switch came out. Now, obviously, Sony is incredibly stupid for abandoning the Vita. The Vita was very ahead of its time. It was more than capable of doing amazing games and all that stuff, and they totally abandoned it and made it completely, useless. And now, thank God, the hackers and everything are making more mods for it, and you could play all kinds of cool games on it, and so on and so forth. I think you could play now even GameCube games on it, which is pretty freaking insane, and Dreamcast games. And a lot of things are being worked on right now for the PlayStation Vita. The thing is, what I don't understand with Nintendo, because the Vita did it also kind of screwed up, but they came out with a streaming service, if you guys remember, with PlayStation 3 games. Now with, you pay a certain fee, you're a member, and you get discounts on games, which I think is really cool. And on top of it, you got to stream a bunch of games from PlayStation 3, I think PlayStation 2 as well, but I know they had a lot of PlayStation 3 games on it where you can stream it. Streaming, of course, wasn't reliable on the PlayStation Vita at its time. A lot of the times it would throw you out of the game because it wouldn't connect you, and so on and so forth. Sort of like playing Mortal Kombat 11 right now on the Nintendo Switch. It was really... It pissed me off most of the time. But now we're living in an age that everything is better. The Wi-Fi is better. The internet connection, we're approaching 5G now. But even LTE and 4G and every little thing, we're approaching good times of connections and stuff like that. The Nintendo Switch does not have a streaming service in terms of for bigger games. What they're doing is they're pretty much letting you get a membership. You're paying extremely cheap, but all you have is a bunch of NES games. It looks like an incredible mess. I'm not a big fan of it at all. I just had it for a couple months, and just after that, I just didn't care for it anymore. It doesn't offer much, and I know it's cheap, but I'd rather save that money and buy games for y'all, so I can review it for y'all. But I don't know. I just don't like the online for the Nintendo Switch at all. And I think that they're sitting on a freaking gold mine. I'm not even kidding about this. They're sitting on a freaking oil well. The thing is, they're not realizing the incredible potential. Even if they're going to charge more, which we all know they're eventually going to do, since they're teaming up with Microsoft, which I still think is a very, very bad idea. But, to run their servers and all that stuff. I'm just saying, even if they do charge a little extra, if they gave you games like GameCube, screw GameCube, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Wii games, Nintendo Wii U games, this would be great. Of course, they want to port over a lot of games from the Nintendo Wii U and sell them at $60. We all know that nonsense, but at least the Nintendo Wii, GameCube, pretty much every system, Nintendo 64, well, I know they're coming out with, they have the classic Nintendo 64 and all of that stuff and whatever. But they have so many opportunities to make this online, because we're not dealing with just like a company that just sort of came out and then they're just like, okay, let's see what to come out. What are we going to allow to stream? I mean, Nintendo goes back into the early 80s, okay? And then into the, in the late 80s, they did, that's when they really became recognized. So they have a lot of systems, a lot of games, a plethora, a big, crazy library of games. And they could just simply stream it. They could simply have games that you can download. They can charge you for them. They can let you play them online as exclusives or something. Or give you a membership that you could save money on bigger games like for GameCube. I'm not even talking about Nintendo 64 here, guys. I mean, this thing is capable of running Nintendo Wii games. It's not that it's impossible. It should be able to allow you to do that. I know they're probably, who knows, maybe they have plans in another year or two to start releasing ports of the Wii. I don't know. But the thing is, it's so stupid that they're only sticking to that Nintendo thing and just to the original Nintendo games, which everybody could play pretty much even on their cell phone on emulators and not have to pay a freaking dime. Again, this is what makes it not a system seller. They have, the system is doing better than all the other systems out there, the Xbox, the PlayStation 2. It is selling systems. But the thing is, it's like when Japan said, we didn't know, I remember Nintendo of Japan, we don't know how to do this, but we don't want a Nintendo Switch one every home. We want it in everybody's hands. So the way we're going to do that, we're going to take away the dock. We're going to charge $200. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Make a good online source that you could play games on the go, where you could play, literally download games. I don't care about the streaming, but download games so people could play it on the freaking go. And you're going to have a system seller, because people will want to pay, pay a monthly subscription and play Wii games on the freaking go. I, until now, want another Punch-Out game. I don't think we're ever getting one. But the thing is, that will give us the opportunity to play that. There's games that were on the Nintendo Wii that are not coming for the Switch probably, and it's good if they could just bring that over, or GameCube games and stuff like that. To play it on the go would be just amazing. And right now, they're working on, I think they even have the Wii running on the PlayStation Vita. So people are actually, that's the funny part. I don't even know why Sony is still, they put an end to the Vita. I think they should continue to sell the hardware of the PS Vita, because eventually it's going to be able to do everything Nintendo is not, and that is play the old games at least. So we could take it. I still have my PS Vita, and I still play it on the go. I still have my PSP. I still play it from time to time. But if I could get an emulator and play the old games while I'm waiting for the new games on the Switch to come out, that would be really awesome. But why can't they just release it on the freaking Switch? They're giving up so much revenue, it's ridiculous. And in their shareholder meeting, they pretty much said they don't have any plans for that, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much what they said in a nutshell. The truth of the matter is, I do get why they're probably doing that. I mean, as you saw with the Nintendo 64, they have games like GoldenEye, which everybody wanted, which was a system seller. And, they couldn't come out with that game due to copyrights and, due to contractual agreements and all kinds of crap like that. So maybe they have a lot of games they can't contract out, but they have so many games they could bring out. Maybe they're planning to port it and sell it at $60 or 20 or 10. That's another thing. That's another stupid thing that I don't understand. Why come out with these games only for the online and not let people play it on the go that you don't need an online connection, and let them go on the go forever and not have to even renew the subscription where they can buy the game? That's where I'm at. I want, with the PlayStation Vita, it made sense to stream because you can't play PlayStation 3 games on it, even though they claim you could. You obviously can't. So to stream that, I totally get it. But to have games for Nintendo and Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, it's totally doable on the Nintendo Switch. And they could sell it on the eShop and say, okay, well, if you pay a subscription fee, you can play this by, whatever, and downloading a bunch of plethora of games for one fee. Or you can buy them in the Nintendo eShop for $5 each, $10 each. I don't know who is their marketing dev guy. I have no clue, but it's completely upside down over there. It's just so stupid marketing. I just don't get it. And I think it's, well, I'm not thinking, it's definitely costing them a crap ton of money. Money that they could set aside just in case a disaster happens, which we all know happened with the Wii U, and then they can recover from that instead of going, God forbid, may God please forbid it from happening, bankrupt like what happened with Sega, which was awful because I loved Sega. And I don't want that to happen, so I'm worried about that. So as a fan of Nintendo, they need to start making money where they can store them on the side, so they can recover from a collapse. So they could come and then they can make better systems, that'll come out that probably could play the bigger games that don't, become exactly like the other systems. Who knows? But the thing is, they'll have that revenue coming, and it just looks like it's kind of funny, because like when my friends at Nintendo of America, when I spoke to them and they told me they spoke to Nintendo of Japan about that, they said they literally were almost agitated by the idea, which doesn't make any freaking sense. Now, we know Nintendo of Japan is like Sega of Japan, completely clueless about everything when it comes to business. They have no idea what the hell's going on. The Sega of America was trying to save the company, telling them new ideas and everything. They completely just tossed it in the air and didn't give a rat's, begone about it. And then look what happened. They went bankrupt, and now they're just software developing and not doing hardware anymore. And this is the problem. And Nintendo of Japan is literally doing the same thing Sega of Japan did to Nintendo of America. Nintendo of America has a bigger reach. They have a better, marketing strategists. They know better what the heck is good for the company more than Nintendo of Japan. But Nintendo of Japan's not listening to them, and because of that, it is leading them. Right now, they're still doing great in sales, and whatever goes up comes down, but let's hope that thing keeps going, rocketing up. But they're losing a lot of potential money that they could be making. And this is where this thing comes in. And now we're going to segue into the Nintendo Switch Mini. Now, if you guys remember, I told you the Nintendo Switch Pro looks like it'll never happen. It's all rumors. And I spoke to my friends in Nintendo of Japan, and they said they have no clue about it. And Nintendo Switch Mini, nobody wants to tell me anything about it. It's still a rumor. But based on what they have said, I mean, you could literally see here what they said here. We acknowledge that there have been reports about this. This is straight from Nintendo of Japan. Nintendo said answering to rumors and speculations would end up stealing surprises from our customers and also be unprofitable to our shareholders. So we have no answer to that. As general theory, we are always performing development on new hardware. Now, I'm going to tell you guys something. A lot of people were pissed off by that response, but at the same time they said, oh, this is definitely coming. There's no doubt a Switch Mini is coming. I don't think that... I know Nintendo of Japan is completely clueless, but they can't be possibly that stupid for not releasing the Mini. I've been calling out for this since the beginning, since it came out. I said, you guys want to replace the, there's still people even with Game Boy Advance, but you want to replace all the handheld systems in your lineup. How the hell are you going to do that when you're marketing to little kids the Mini? Okay, we all know the freaking Joy-Cons on this thing. I have orangutan hands, but many people complained about it. It's too freaking tiny. Okay, so these things were like made for children. I would love to see a Pro version that's bigger and better, but I believe a mini version that can house this thing, a mini version that has even something like this for kids, for the children market, or even for people who are trying to replace the handheld market, to become the next handheld system, which is what they're going with. You got to come with a mini. No kid, I work as a Big Brother, I used to work in Big Brother, Big Sister in Catholic Charities, and no kid, when I give them the Nintendo Switch, can hold a Nintendo Switch in their hands. They can't. They're little, they're young, their hands are small. They cannot hold something that's heavy like that, especially with a battery pack on it. It's impossible. So what do you need to do? You got to release a mini version. Now, the mini version has to, people are worried, oh my God, and all this. Why did they say it's not coming out? Now, the way they said it, it is coming out. Here's the thing. The truth of the matter is, it is a danger to stockholders. And I'll tell you why Nintendo is playing it safe. First off, there's a plethora of games. Like, a lot of people are going to ask me now, when is this thing coming out? I don't believe it's coming out now. I do believe if it would come out, a perfect time would be the holidays. But like I said before, I think it's coming out in the next year. And next year, because of this reason, and this reason simply put, the games that are coming out right now, that is the concentration of Nintendo. They're coming out with new games. Now, a lot of people are already kind of pissed off with the Nintendo Switch. Those who were early adopters, we all know they have bricking issues and all kinds of other crap that's happening to them right now. And a lot of people in general are kind of ticked off with the Switch that it's not running games at optimal, on the third party, and we'll get into that in another video and I'll explain everything. But that's the issue right now. You're trying to get a bunch of people to become, to adopt your system, to take on the system, the next big thing, and to dump, let's say, the Wii U, but all you come out is with ports. Now you have a lineup of games that are coming out that are brand new, and people are looking forward to it. System sellers, okay? So this thing is a good introduction. You kind of want to keep that flow going before you throw a grenade in there and say, wait up. Now, a lot of people, if you're about to buy a Nintendo Switch and you didn't buy it yet, if you know a Switch Mini is coming out after the holidays, and this is why I'm saying it's after the holidays, every gaming system concentrates on holiday sales. In fact, stockholders are concentrating on holiday sales because that's where they're making most of their money. Now, if you know a system is coming out after the holidays, you're going to hold off on purchasing your Nintendo Switch. You're not going to want to get the Nintendo Switch. You want to see the Mini. Why? Because I have the Mini. I have a feeling the Mini is going to be a revision with not a new Tegra chip. Okay, I do not think they're ready for the Tegra 2. There's testing that needs to be involved in that and a bunch of other things. I don't think they're going to be I don't think they're stupid enough to release a Tegra 2. I think what they're going to do is a revision of the Tegra 1. And what they're going to be able to do is, with that revision, they're going to be able, probably in that revision, to cool off the system a little better, probably better cooling. They'll be able to overclock it a little bit more, maybe pump up the memory, pump up maybe the internal storage. Anything's possible. It's up for debate. But the thing is, I personally do not think they're going to come out with it during the holidays, although I think that would be amazing. I just think for the stock market, for the stockholders and for Nintendo fans alike, and people who are thinking about getting the Nintendo, right now we sort of fixed all the kinks. We tweaked, we fixed everything. Sort of, it's still up in the air. There's still some things to fix. So people are going to get really pissed if now another system comes out, as you saw the forums right now blew up about it. So that's the thing. I don't think they're releasing it anytime soon. I think it'll probably be next year. Again, this isn't a fact, but it just makes sense. Now, the reason why they don't want to say, hey, guys, the Mini's coming out is because of that. If people hold off at buying the Switch, let's say in the holidays, okay, they're not going to buy it because they're waiting for after the holidays. This is why I'm thinking it's coming out after the holidays. The stock market, the stockholders are going to suffer greatly. They're going to pull out. There's going to be issues with that, now, unless they give inside information, which we all know some of them do. There's going to be issues about that. A lot of people are not going to buy the system because they're going to wait to see what the heck this Mini is. Even people who have orangutan hands like me, they're not going to want to go and pay money for a system that they know something. Let's say the Mini is going to be faster because due to better overclocking capabilities and so on and so forth. It's going to be just very stupid of them to say it's coming out and after the holidays. Now, I think also at the same time, people who own the Switch might want to get a Mini if, let's say, they're kids or they're just interested in, let's say, going portable. They're more on the portable side and they have small hands. Especially girls. I know a lot of girls that have small hands and a lot of girls who said they wanted a Mini because this thing's too damn big for them. So all of these, games that are coming out right now, they're not going to invest in the newer games. Luigi's Mansion 3, all of these new games that are coming out, nobody's going to buy them because they're going to save up for the Switch Mini. Now, in the long run, this is going to cost, the third-party developers are going to, I'm not going to say they're going to pull out, but they're going to probably say, what the hell is this? Nobody bought my game. The hell with Nintendo, because people are going to save money. So altogether, it makes sense for them to hold back on when they are releasing it. But due to all the clues I'm seeing here, it looks like it's going to be released after the holidays. I think that there's going to be probably a direct that's going to talk about it somewhere around after the holidays, and then it's going to come out. My guess, I'm going to say April. Might be even before, but it's definitely going to be next year in my head. I don't know, because Otherwise, I think they would have already said, sure, why not? Let's just tell them or whatever, and probably in August announce it, or and get it out there and make it official. I just don't think they're going to do that because they have a plethora of games coming out right now that are system sellers. They're also just they're seeing the fans' reactions. They're just sort of getting it right now in terms of how it's running. It's not getting bricked anymore. There's certain things that are happening. I don't think they're ready to jump off and get people, pissed off at Nintendo. There's too many clues here that doesn't look like it's going to happen till next year. That's just me. Again, hate doing rumor videos. Had to do this video right here because I'm seeing a lot of responses and a lot of questions coming into me. But also I'm seeing a lot of forums, and on those forums, everybody are getting pissed and some are happy and all of this. So I want to just explain a little bit what's going on from a stockholder's point of view. Stockholders like myself would not want to hear something like that coming out. Because if it is, you're going to see a lot of people holding off on buying games. A lot of people holding off on buying the Switch, let's say in the holiday, where the big boom is supposed to happen. So you could see where a lot of people might pull out. It's just dangerous for Nintendo. And believe it or not, Nintendo is still walking on eggshells. You see, they're not flexing their muscles. They're not telling third-party developers, for example, who come out with ass-backwards game like WWE 2K18 and Ark Survival, which didn't even run well on any other system. But I'm saying, they're not telling them, you can't, you guys got to be on it or we're not putting a Nintendo seal. They're not ready for that yet. They're still kind of recovering from the big boom, big destruction that happened on the Wii U. So they're still very careful. They're still walking on eggshells, and they're very, very paranoid, as you can clearly see here, the way they were speaking about it. So that's what I think about it. As always, guys, giving you guys nothing but honesty. This is what I personally think. I do think they're going to have a modification of the Tegra. I think it'd be stupid, completely stupid of them not to do that. So I do think it's going to, most likely have better cooling since it's a smaller system. Will it have capabilities for overclocking? Well, that's a tricky question if it's a tiny device. But let's face it, I mean, this is pretty flat over here on the regular Nintendo Switch. So I'm thinking possibly that might be a thing. We might have a memory bump. You might have better battery speeds. We'll see. But definitely not, I don't think it's coming out anytime soon. I think it's coming out next year. I personally think it's April, but it's definitely sometime next year after the holidays, based on the clues that were given here. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, help out the channel, the people's channel, our channel, the community, by liking the video, subscribing, hitting that bell button, and share the video with anybody you know. Let's get more people into this. Let's get more people into the conversation here. Let me know. Above all, I want to hear what you guys think about this. What do you guys feel? Are you ready for a Switch Mini? Would you buy a Switch Mini? Do you think it's a waste of time? Do you think Nintendo is right for doing what they did? I want to hear exactly, what do you think the Switch Mini is going to have in there and all that. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say, so definitely comment down below. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye. As always, guys, if you like what you see, self-funded here, be sure to check out all my other stuff, from mini-series to unboxings to technology, and Nintendo reviews and 3D printer reviews and all that good stuff. If you like what you see, the only way you can help the channel is by liking this video, subscribing, and hitting that bell button. As many more cool videos to come. Definitely want you guys in it, and I want you guys to be vocal. Definitely comment down below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.